All right, and it says we're live. As always, I'm checking both the screens to see if we are live. And yes, I can see myself live on LinkedIn as well as on YouTube. थोड़ा 4 मिनट जल्दी आ गया हूँ, so I'll just wait for people to join in. I'll start in about 2 minutes. All right. Okay, so let's begin. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to all those who are joining me today and to all those who may watch this video later. A happy Vasubaras to you all and hope you have a lovely and a lively Diwali this year. With that, let's begin the sixth topic or the sixth video of the Akiki Vani series. Today, we're going to talk about how to crush self doubt. Now, if you're someone who's feeling scared, if you're someone who questions every decisions, every actions that you take, every decisions that you make, then my dear friends, you are not alone. Good evening, Pranam. Hi. You know, worldwide, there's an estimate that 85% of the world population suffers from self doubt or low self esteem. And we all know that self doubt and self confidence के बीच में एक thin line है. It is your belief in your ability, it is your belief in yourself that can help you overcome or crush your self doubt. Let me share some of my experiences and my stories. So imagine, right from my childhood, my teachers, some of my friends, a few family members, they often look down upon me. To give you an example, one of the teachers happened to say this to a boy who was in his sixth standard. I had just cleared my fifth standard. Yeah, मैं कोई scholar नहीं था. I was an average student scoring anywhere between 65 to 70%, or sometimes 60 to 65% in school. And I was fat. I personally I was happy. यार उतना मेहनत किया मिल गया. But you know what happens? People often give importance to the end results and not to the efforts, and that, my dear friends, is the reason for 85% of the world population feeling low about their own confidence. So that teacher on my face said that, I don't mind teaching his sister. But as far as this guy is concerned, he's a dagad man. He's a dagad. Doesn't understand anything. You have to repeat it again and doesn't ask questions. And when he asks questions, the questions are so stupid. Imagine what's going to happen. So the message I got was I was good for nothing. I was a dagad. While he was giving me the liberty to ask questions, but when I asked questions, he would often tag me as stupid or someone who doesn't understand the basics. Then in my college, around in my first year BCom, I started learning Japanese. I was very excited. I shared this news with my friends. So one of the friends, rather he was not my friend, he was a friend's brother, and for some reason he hated me. वो बोलते हैं ना शक्ल पसंद नहीं आती, तो शायद मेरी शक्ल पसंद नहीं थी. सबके सामने उसने बोला, "Why are you learning Japanese? तेरे को जॉब कौन देगा? तू जापानीज सीखना बंद कर. चपरासी बनने की औकात नहीं है. You are not even worth becoming an office assistant." I couldn't speak up. Why? Arey, my good boy image, yeah. My good boy image contributed to my struggles. I could never speak up. I could never ask questions. So what happened? Now in my corporate life, there was an incident I still remember where I was kind of heading the people management for one of the teams. This was somewhere between 2005 to 2006. And they were looking for someone to head the vertical. So the team members during the meeting, they suggested the CEO that maybe Akshay could be the one heading the vertical. The CEO replied saying, "No, Akshay is weak. He's good at operations, he's good at customer experience, but when it comes to heading a vertical, he's weak." I was shocked. I couldn't answer. That stayed with me. That impacted my ability to think, that impacted my ability to strategize. Was the CEO at fault? No. When I reflected upon my own thinking, I realized that at that point of time, I may not have been ready. As a CEO, he knew his team well, right? So all I had to do was walk into his cabin and ask him, what could I do to work on myself? How can I fill those gaps? But nahi, wo maine nahi kiya. Why? Because fear of being judged. See, when you're already low on confidence, when there's self-doubt in your mind, even a simple feedback comes across as criticism. And when that happens, ladies and gentlemen, you are stopping your growth, you're stopping yourself from learning, right? Because right from the childhood, no one teaches us to advocate for ourselves or get up after failing or falling. So, the examples that I gave, Akshay is good for nothing, he cannot think, he cannot strategize, he's weak. All of these stay back in here. वो जैसे cement लगाते हैं ना, and that's what happens because every time you look down upon yourself, you're blaming yourself for your own stagnancy, you're blaming yourself or you're blaming the world at times for your slow progress. I believe it's only when I started working on myself with the help of a counselor and also a purpose, she was also my purpose coach, did I start reflecting on my thought patterns, my feelings, and she helped me embrace my anxiety. She helped me embrace my fears. She was the first one to tell me it's okay to make mistakes. Right? She was the first one to tell me it's okay to fail. You're feeling anxious? It's okay. Those are your emotions. Those are your feelings. You're feeling underconfident? Let's study the reasons behind your underconfidence. And that's when we realize that all of these had a connection to my experiences from my childhood. हम सबके साथ वही होता है and we all know that. We all know that कि बचपन की कहानी के जरिए हम हमारी कहानी को एक अलग मोड़ पे लेके जाते हैं. It's the narrative that we keep playing in our heads every day, every moment. So today what we're going to do is, as I said, I'm going to give you a powerful acronym. It's a simple acronym yet a very powerful mantra or acronym, call it whatever you want to. This is going to help you regain your self-confidence. And as you may have guessed it, yes, the acronym is crush. We're going to crush our self-doubt. So the first C is cultivating confidence. So how do you do that? You do that by connecting to your energy. When I say energy, it is the energy that's flowing within you. It's your breathing. Connect to your breath. You've heard me saying this in the past, and I'm going to repeat it again. Breathing is believing in yourself. Every time you get anxious, every time you get scared, you may have observed your breathing changing. Every time you get angry, every time you're feeling happy and joyful, you feel calm, right? So connect to that energy. Connect to your anxiety, connect to your fear. Why are you feeling underconfident? And connect to that feeling of being underconfident. It's okay. Feeling underconfident doesn't make you any less, nor does it give power to the other person. Just because you have a fear of public speaking, it doesn't mean that you don't have the capabilities. No, you have the capabilities. It's just that you are yet to unleash your capabilities. And you'll be able to unleash your capabilities only when you understand your fears and your anxiety. So, when you begin cultivating your confidence, I want you to connect to your energy, which is your breath. See what it's trying to tell you. And most importantly, remind yourself to celebrate your small wins or celebrate your achievements. How often do you celebrate small wins? क्या आप सिर्फ वो बड़ी अचीवमेंट के लिए देख रहे हो कि मुझे प्रमोशन मिला है, मेरी इंक्रीमेंट हुई है? अरे लेकिन जिस प्रॉब्लम को आप सॉल्व कर रहे थे पिछले 10 दिन से या मेरी 1 महीने से, उस प्रॉब्लम का सोल्यूशन आपको मिल गया है. हाँ, आपके साथ 10 लोग भी थे काम में, लेकिन आपने भी कुछ ना कुछ तो उसमें कंट्रीब्यूट किया है. So start celebrating your small wins. This is something my wife often tells me to do, and believe me, it really helps. It boosts your confidence. See, affirmations work. I feel confident, but affirmations will manifest into positive results only when you start believing in yourself, and believing in yourself will begin when you start connecting to your energy. Understand what your anxiety and fear is trying to tell you. And when you start celebrating those small wins, when you start allowing yourself to make mistakes, when you start allowing yourself to fail, the next time you fail, the next time you make a mistake, don't curse yourself. Don't curse the world around you. Understand what happened and tell yourself that it is perfectly fine to make mistakes. I've learned to solve a problem in another way. Yeah. So focus on cultivating your confidence. ये छोटी छोटी चीजों से ही आप confidence cultivate कर सकते हो. The second, the R in crush is recognizing your strengths. Create your own list of strengths, right? And while you're doing it, I would want you to reflect on your fears as well. So R is recognizing strengths, or it could also be reflecting on your fears. So एक लिस्ट बनाइए आप, एक इन्वेंट्री, क्रिएट एन इन्वेंट्री ऑफ fears. 10 fears होंगे तो उसमें से just focus on the top 3 or 5 fears that you would want to overcome. Make a list or an inventory of your strengths and see how you can cultivate those strengths to help you overcome your fears. That's how you help yourself move forward. Baby steps. Recognizing your strengths is extremely crucial for you to overcome your self doubt. Yeah. Then comes the you under crush. Any guesses what that could be? Any guesses? The you is, as always, it's unleashing your self, unleashing your potential. Because once you've cultivated your confidence, once you've reflected on your strengths, once you've begun working on your fears, that is where you will start seeing your true potential. Now, something that I do through my sessions is I get people to visualize, I get people to meditate, I get people to visualize their goals. Yeah, get them to visualize. If time permits, we could do it today as well. But if not, here's what I tell them is I get them to visualize their goals, visualize their milestones or their vision, helping them connect to their breathing. Then I get them to visualize the version that has achieved those goals or milestones of vision. Because when you connect to the version that has achieved your goals or your vision, that version is your highest potential. So the next time I would want you to visualize yourself achieving your goals, achieving your vision. Connect to that version that has achieved your goals. Because when you connect, right, you need to, that is when you will decode the traits or habits of the highest potential. Yes, Pranab, I think that's correct. You could also say understanding your emotions. Yeah. So it could be unleashing potential. It could also be understanding your emotions. Because it is only when you understand your emotions, be it fear, anxiety, happiness, when you decode the message your emotions are carrying, you will eventually unleash your potential. The next is strengthening your inner voice. अब आपने कॉन्फिडेंस कल्टिवेट कर लिया है. You've reflected on your strengths, on your fears, you've unleashed your potential, or you've understood your emotions. The next step is to strengthen the inner voice. अब inner voice क्या होता है? Inner voice is that same narrative that I was talking about at the start. It could either be I'm good for nothing, or it could be no matter how hard I try, I just don't seem to succeed. All of this happens because of the messages we've been getting. ये मेरे साथ बहुत होता था कि यार मैं मेहनत तो बहुत कर रहा हूँ लेकिन मेरे को सक्सेस नहीं आ रहा है, बिकॉज मेरा फोकस होता था उन्हीं चीजों पे जिससे कि मैं पीछे रह जाता था. और मैं हमेशा ये कहता था कि अगर कोई बाजू वाला मेरे से आगे गया है तो खामी तो मुझ में है. नहीं भाई, हम सब अलग अलग लेन्स में जा रहे हैं, राइट. There's only one thing that we need to remind ourselves is that we are not in a race. We are not here to compete with each other. We are here to prosper. We are here to keep moving ahead on our path. And success and failures are going to be a part of your path. Yeah. So it is essential for you to reflect on the current inner voice that is driving your decisions, that is driving all your actions or inactions. So focus on understanding that narrative and rewrite that narrative. The narrative that is currently driving me is I am capable or I am possible. Because it's only when you change your narrative into a powerful narrative, that narrative itself helps you to counter your self doubt. Try doing it. And the last H is harnessing your determination. You need to focus on being resilient, and determination to आपको help करेगा ये, because it's only when you have focused on building your confidence, you know your strengths, you've unleashed your potential, or you've understood your emotions, you've rewritten that narrative. Now you know what you have to achieve. उसके बावजूद भी आपको वो fear आएगा, and that is when you need to focus on the ultimate goal. You need to remind yourself about the version that you may have seen during that meditation, as and when you do it. Yeah, I want you guys to reflect on that version, because, as I said, we all are energy beings. All of us have a frequency. So even your highest potential has a frequency. You need to tap into the current frequency, and by cultivating your confidence, reflecting on your strengths, unleashing potential, or understanding emotions, rewriting your narrative, you need to match the frequency of your current self with the highest potential. Give it time. Take baby steps. उसी से आप अपने कॉन्फिडेंस को बिल्ड कर पाओगे, और उसी से आप अपने हाईएस्ट पोटेंशियल को या हाईएस्ट सेल्फ से कनेक्ट हो पाएंगे. Now, before I move to the habit that I want to share, do you guys have any questions? All those watching me, do you have any questions? If you have questions, feel free to uh, post it now. I'll give you a minute. Okay, so while people think about the questions, let me repeat it. Crush is cultivating confidence by connecting to your energy, your breath. Remind yourself to focus on those small wins. Allow yourself to make mistakes and allow yourself to fail. Learn from those mistakes, learn from those failures. Recognize your strengths or reflect on your fears. Unleash your potential or understand your emotions. This is where you will visualize the version that has already achieved your goals or vision. Reflect on the traits and habits of that highest version. Take baby steps to unleash your potential. Strengthening your inner voice is rewriting your narrative. But before you rewrite, reflect on the current narrative that is driving your actions. And then focus on rewriting and building a strong narrative. The last is harness determination, being determined. Yeah? Just focus on achieving your goals. जैसे चकदे में शाहरुख खान कहता है ना, तुम्हारे पास सिर्फ 70 मिनट है, तो भाई तुम्हारे पास तो पूरी जिंदगी पड़ी है. But that moment that you are focusing on, you need to tell yourself कि मेरे पास बस यही मोमेंट है जिसमें मुझे या तो एक्शन लेना है या तो एक्शन नहीं लेना. And when you decide not to take any action, ensure that you do it consciously. Because अगर consciously अपने decision लिया कि आज के दिन मुझे कुछ बात नहीं करनी है, आज के दिन मुझे कोई action नहीं लेना है, that is also perfectly fine. कोई भी चीज अगर आप consciously करो, awareness के साथ करो, वो आपको guilt mode पे नहीं लेके जाता. So stay determined. Yeah. And now coming to the end. So one of the habits that you could cultivate to rebuild your confidence is, I would want you to look into the mirror every morning, reflect on your achievements of the past, of the previous day or the previous week, give yourself a pat on your back. And while you're doing this, I want you to acknowledge your strengths and say this 3 times. I am capable and nothing in this world can stop me from achieving my full potential. जैसे मैंने कहा था, affirmations work, but they work only when you worked on your fears, when you worked on your doubts. So when you're looking into the mirror, पूरे जोश के साथ देखिए, दिल से देखिए, and tell yourself, I am capable and nothing in this world can stop me from achieving my full potential. आप चाहे तो और कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, ये तो मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया है. What is essential is for you to reflect that आपका self doubt और आपका low self esteem is not helping you move forward in life. You may be feeling stagnant, you may be feeling lost. It's up to you, my dear friends. आपके हाथ में ही है कंट्रोल लेना, आपके हाथ में ही है to reflect on your fears, to reflect on your low confidence. And tell yourself it's okay to feel scared, it's okay to feel underconfident. But what is not okay is to demean yourself. What is not okay to sit on the fence. या तो आप एक्शन लो कॉन्शियसली, या तो आप डिसाइड करो कि बॉस मुझे इस टाइम के लिए कुछ एक्शन नहीं है। जो भी करो वो कॉन्शियसली करो और अवेयरनेस के साथ करो। या so the next time you doubt your capabilities, remember to crush your self-doubt, your fears. And remember, also remind yourself to look into the mirror and recite that mantra maybe twice or thrice. You could also repeat it towards the end of the day, whatever makes you comfortable. Yeah. I would want you guys to practice this and share with me how you feel. Give yourself maybe 21 days. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये वीडियो देख के आपको कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा, ऐसा नहीं है कि कल सुबह आप उठ के अपने आप को आईने में देख रहे हो, ये बोल रहे हो, उसी दिन चेंज होगा। थोड़ा चेंज आपको महसूस होगा, but you need to give yourself 21 days to start seeing some changes. Yep. So I'll see you again tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. for Tea Pe Charcha. Now this live talk is going to be about prioritization. अब टी क्या है वो हम कल ही बात करेंगे. Until then, focus on crushing your self doubt and building your confidence. Yeah. Take care. All the best, and I'll see you tomorrow. If you have any questions for me on self doubt, feel free to reach out to YouTube or LinkedIn or 97698 69902. You can message me on this number and I'll help you. Rather, we'll work towards helping you rebuild your confidence. Yeah? Take care. All the best. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, guys. Bye bye.